So I think that my first interactions with Lillee Jean were pretty much the same as Abby's. I saw the Creepshow art video because that was a time when Creepshow art was believed to be a good person.
Right.
That's a different story for a different day. And then I went on to watch the other videos, and then I started watching like, wow, this is a little strange. Definitely noticed some strange behavior. And then more and more drama kept happening surrounding her. So I just kind of did my own research. I got involved on Reddit and joined a group of people who shared the same opinions as I do.
Okay. So just from like an observer standpoint, then basically, like just seeing what's going on and sharing thoughts about it, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm not a YouTuber at all. Like, I don't post any content. I don't really feel the need to post any content, but I watch a lot of YouTube, and I saw this and I was like, this is weird. And it was nice to find other people to talk to about it.
Did you have any direct interactions with either Lillee or Laur, or have you like only just sort of observed?
A few of my Reddit posts, like, I've made comments on Lily's videos. She's never like responded to any of them, but I made comments, and I posted a photo, like a screenshot of one of the comments I made. I posted that on Reddit, and that got DMCA claimed. So I'm
your
like,
comment,
a screenshot that I took of my own comment on her video, and I'm like, okay, pretty sure that's mine, but sure, you can take down my things.
Yeah, they do that so that you'll try to dispute it so they can get your information. Like it's
and that's why I didn't dispute it, but I just commented in the post. I was like, she took this down, because the post was still there, but the picture wasn't. I was like, this is absolutely stupid. Like, you get so angry that other people do this to you, but you can do it to anybody else. The hypocrisy with these people is just like mind-blowing.
There needs to be a better system in place on like all of these platforms where anybody can just claim that they own anything at all, and then it's down to like the victim to prove otherwise, which is ridiculous.
And then she posts this video on platform accountability. Like, honey, you are the one. If you want these rules to be put in place, the majority of your stuff is gone. So you should probably take a step back.
I'm sure she doesn't ask permission for her, her thumbnails and her makeup looks. I'm sure she didn't, specifically request to use their likeness. The fact that she claims art, for crying out loud.
Yet she claims it's inspired, I'm doing finger quotes here, to try to make it seem like I'm not copying. Okay, first of all, you can say that this is inspired. It's literally just a basic makeup look. But okay, I think she's very hypocritical, and something's got to be done.
When did you first personally feel that this is more than just some kind of bonehead kid doing some stuff to try and get recognized? Like, I think a lot of people just sort of think, when they don't look deeper, that that's all it is. It's no big deal. She's just a kid. She's just doing silly stuff. What was sort of the first indication that it is a lot bigger than that?
Honestly, from the very beginning, I kind of had that thought, because, yeah, she said some stupid things when she was younger, but she's now a 20-year-old woman. She knows better. I don't care what grade level of education she has got. She is a human being. She should know her morals. I feel like it's always thought that she's not just some kid messing around with makeup. There's always been this vibe with me that she's just kind of a sinister kind of person. Like, there's something very, very bad here. Because between...
You don't think that she's completely, like, that it's all Laur and that Lily's some sort of innocent victim in all of this?
I don't think it's all Laur, because Lillee Jean is at this point 20 years old. She could stop this if she wanted to. I know that sounds really, really terrible, but I feel like it's just realistic. She could quit at any time. Does she want to? Sure. No, probably not.
And there's a lot of ways she could stop the negatives that are happening. Like, if she was to admit and take some accountability for some of the crap she's done, yeah, a lot of it, she was young and stupid. Like, she was a naive kid who has no real world experiences other than her crazy mother. And that in itself makes a lot of it forgivable. Had she started to see that and turn it around as she's becoming an adult and being called out, there's only so much you can play dumb about.
Right. And the fact that she hasn't, I mean, I know she's made some apology-esque videos. They're not really what I would consider to be an apology, but she's not actually apologizing for anything in any of those videos. She's really just pushing the blame elsewhere or just brushing it under the rug completely. I feel like
people did die of COVID, but yeah, whatever, get over it. I was mad. Diane, like one of those.
Yeah, like she's one of those people that genuinely does not think before she speaks. Her and her mother. And they don't care to think before they speak. And that's their biggest problem. They only think about themselves.
What do you think prompted them to go where they've gone? Do you think back when, when she was 14, 15, and she was doing her playing with dolls and the eyeball queen and stuff, there was some innocence to that, I think, initially.
Yeah.
How do you think things turned to where they are now?
Yeah, so like how did we get here? Here's my kind of theory on it is she started out innocent, doing her thing, which is all fine and good, but I think she started to get some sponsorships or started to get some just small crumbs of attention, and she and Laur, I feel like they just have these fantasies. I feel like once they started to get these little crumbs of attention from larger companies, Laur pulled Lillee out of school and had her start, pumping out all these videos, putting all of her focus into her online presence to the point where they have pretty much burned any bridge for Lillee going back to being a normal human in normal society. I feel like they realize that they've burned these bridges. And so whenever people call them out on it, they think that it's an attack. They know that we see through them and they try to put these walls up, and it's just not working out. It's just making them look so much worse.
It's hard to pinpoint, I find too. I tend to ramble a lot when I'm talking about her because there's just so many directions that your thoughts go because it's just so absurd. The whole circus, it's just so what is happening?
It's like everything just continuously goes in circles with her. And I don't know how she and Laur keep it up because it has to be exhausting. It has to be exhausting being on your computer 24/7, 365 days a year because you have to sit there and delete comments to pretend like you're actually liked. Yeah. I don't know how they do it.
It's sad, really. If you look at it from a perspective of not knowing sort of the dark parts of what they've said and done and how they've really caused harm to people. If you just look at it from that angle, it's really got to be a sad life for Lillee. To know that, everybody despises you and you have to fake the little bit of positive you get, and that's your mom's fault.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And I do feel bad about that part. I feel bad about it, but where I start to lose some sympathy is whenever she has many people telling her this is not the life you should be living. You should get out on your own and do your own thing. She has people telling her this. Yet she's not making these realizations. She's continuing with the behaviors. And I know that not all of the comments have to come from Laur. Some of these things have to come from Lillee. And that's what sympathy, because I'm realizing that it's not just Laur anymore. She's at a point where she can think for herself.
I agree. I don't see a whole lot of positive in the future of any of this. And I know that there's still people who, they're less cynical than I am, and it's a good thing there's people like that in the world, because if everybody was like me, it would be a pretty negative world. But hope that one day Lillee will wake the hell up and step away from her mom and try to do something different. And I think she could, if she had it in her to do that. I think there would be a lot of support for her.
Yeah, but I also feel like she would, in doing so, and it would probably take some time, I feel like she would still need to make some apologies and make some amends and make things right, because there are a lot of things that she said on her own that she's just gotta, work through. But I do feel like if she were to be able to get out of the situation she's in and do things on her own, I feel like she has potential. Now, does she have a lot of work to do to make things right? Oh, yeah. But she does have potential. She's not talentless. Yeah. She's just overhyped herself up, I think. Or Laur has overhyped her up. about what she's doing.
Yeah, I really do think she could build or could have built an organic following for herself. It wouldn't have been 1 million people, you know, overnight, like is supposed to look like happened for her. But yeah, she could have done something. She has drive. You got to give her that.
And that's what's sad about it. She's just a big ball of misdirected energy. Like, that's what's sad.
Where do you see Lillee like 5 years from now? If you more forward, where's she at?
We're talking if she moves away from Laur or if she stays.
No, just whatever jumps to your mind, like with whatever scenario. We wake up, you bang your head and you wake up 5 years from now. Where's Lillee?
Probably not in a great place, let's be honest, because the chance of her getting away from Laur is pretty slim. I feel like this cycle is just going to keep going, and so this isn't going to be a very hopeful, pretty happy 5 years.
That's okay.
I feel like she's going to be sticking with Laur. This cycle will continue, and she's going to keep up this act until eventually, you know, it's just not good anymore. And eventually, hopefully, if this is how she's going to act, I think that she's going to get accounts taken down.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they probably should have by now, but I'm not YouTube and I can't make those decisions. So.
Yeah, something else. How there's a lot of people that get away with a lot of things.
Right. I think that this is just a really good example for how social media sites should take some accountability for the people using their platforms.
Do you think if she was to, like, if she woke up tomorrow and her YouTube and her ID were gone, they're on to her, they'd take her down, do you think she's immediately doing damage control, or do you think she would take advantage of that and try to fizzle away?
I think the damage control will be pretty immediate because that's their nature. That's what they do anyway. As soon as they see something bad about themselves said, they start whatever fight they have to try to fix it.
I know that if I were Lillee, I would just want to disappear and be like, okay, the jig is up. They're on to me. This isn't going anywhere. Let's just kind of go.
And I wish that she would honestly just step away from the social media, put all the electronics away for a day or two, and just think about what you want to do with yourself. I mean, even though I think she is a bad person, I still want the best for her.
Right, and I think we all do. I don't think anybody truly wants bad things for Lillee. It's just so frustrating to watch somebody do the things that she does.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of where they're wrong, is they take any form of constructive criticism as an attack, and it keeps cycling. It's terrible.
Do you think that she'll ever find a niche? Do you think there'll ever be any real fame for her? Is it only ever going to be this infamy that she's creating?
If she becomes willing to make a change, I think so. I mean, it won't be 1 million followers, like you said, but I feel like she could have a small following. She could be an influencer or whatever and have brands send her things to review and work and modeling and stuff. But she can't as she's acting now, because the way she's acting, brands aren't going to want to work with her.
And now, of course, she'll blame that on people calling her out, sabotaging her, and take no responsibility for that.
Yeah, they don't take any form of responsibility, and that's really an issue.
I can't imagine existing like that. How do you even sleep at night? You gotta wonder, like, she lays down at night, what is she thinking about, you know?
I know the answer to that, and it's Prince Philip, let's be real, or Philippe, I'm sorry, that was terrible. Whoopsie. But I do wonder if she actually has realistic thoughts about the comments she receives. I just want to know, like, does she actually see these and just automatically go, okay, well, they're wrong? I feel like there's just no reflection on her part.
I wonder that too, because there are people who've been very kind in their criticism. Right. And I don't know how you can read that over and over again and immediately discount it and say, no, I'm good, you're bad, screw the haters.
Yeah, I saw on one of her videos, it was like one of her hair care ones, where someone commented and they were like, oh, I'm a hairdresser or whatever, something like that. And they told her, okay, what you're doing to your hair is not great. Maybe use less products. And she took that as an attack. And they were super nice about it. Because I don't have that mindset, I struggle to see how others can too. Like, genuinely have that mindset of, I'm always right.
Yeah, she's not relatable in that sense at all.
No.
I would love to see a video go up with the title of, you know, like, I screwed up, let's talk about it. Can you imagine? That'd be her only video to ever get the views that aren't bought. like that video would burst.
And I feel like because we've seen this happen with people like Eugenia Cooney, they recover and they come back and talk about it and they get big. However, not like exactly like Eugenia Cooney. I do worry though, if Lillee ever comes to a point of reality, I feel like what if she relapses and goes back to the way she was before?
Yeah. I don't see a bright future for her, unfortunately.
No, me either. And it's just,
I think
it's sad to say that.
It is. It really is. I don't think none of us are like evil, horrible people who want her to suffer and fail. It's just that we see the inevitable.
Right.
And there's only two places from here. There's you fix it and you try to recover some sort of respect from the world, or you stop and just go away.
And at this point, I feel
neither of them.
Yeah, I feel like she probably does see this. She sees that her options are stop or keep going like this. And because she's got such little education and she's pretty much burned all of the bridges with people, if she were to stop, there's not much potential there either. And that's really unfortunate.
I gotta wonder, how there's nobody, not a soul in her life, in her family, extended family, peer group. There's nobody that has stepped up and been like, dude, this is not okay.
Right.
And maybe there has, but they would immediately shut that down. I wonder how many people have truly and genuinely cared for that girl and tried to help her not continue this, that she's lost and missed out on, a good friend, a good, somebody who loves and cares about her and wants the best for her, that was thrown away and labeled a hater. Because I'm sure there's been a few. And
it's sad, not just for Lillee, but for whoever was trying to help her. Because we all see the reality in the situation, and she and Laur are just blind to it.
Or they're pretending to be blind to it anyway.
Yeah, at least. But if they are pretending, then they've got to be like, oh crap, we're doing something wrong here in reality. Or behind the scenes.
Yeah, to be a fly on the wall when the two of them talk about this stuff.
Oh my gosh, I would pay so much money.
I really wonder what those conversations are like.
Right, because I wonder if she's fighting back at Laur at any point. I would love to see that.
I think we would all love to see that.
Yeah, at least for her sake. I feel like we'd all respect her a lot more.
It'd be really interesting for somebody who knows them in real life, somebody like an example of somebody I was just describing, if somebody was to come out and say, do know them and this is how it is, and it just another sort of angle into their lives would be enlightening, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to speak with somebody who knows them. That would be really cool.
And do you find it odd, though, that as far as I know, nobody's ever spoken out, except for that one Twitter account that I don't know if it was a troll or if it was really somebody from the Trueman family. It was that A. Trueman. They're like a cousin or something.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter, so I actually don't know. I don't even know that I've seen those, but it would be cool to see actual people around them speak out.
It really surprises me that nobody has. How have they managed to, if she's a household name, right? She likes to say she is, how is it that there's not a soul from their real life that has anything to say about them, good or bad?
I mean, sure, they're not completely isolated. They're not off the grid by any means. Surely they know somebody. Yeah.
How has her old school friends, before she was Lillee Jean the influencer and got pulled from school, people knew her. Where are they? Doesn't anybody wonder where Lillee is, or are they all just sitting back watching this crap show like we are? And I don't know, it's so strange to me. She's got these million followers, but not a soul that knows her in real life.
And that's what's so weird about this, is there's just it almost feels like a weird ARG, because we're all trying to figure out who she really is, yet there's no real life resource to go to. Oh my god, how hilarious would it be if this were all fake? It wouldn't be hilarious at all. They've said terrible things.
I mean, it's going to happen. I really do think that at some point, somebody's going to be like, hey, I went to middle school with Lillee, and I've known their family since I was a kid, and somebody out there is going to stand up and say something. It's impossible to not have that happen. I know she's not really a celebrity, but she's starting to become sort of well-known in the drama sense enough that there's got to be a 6 degrees of separation somewhere where somebody's, hey, I knew that person. I would love to talk to somebody who knows them for real.
Yeah.
Even off the record, just to satisfy my own curiosity.
Lillee, if you're watching this, I'm sure you are. I do want the best for you. I think most of us want the best for you here. We aren't some crusade against you. We are trying to help you. We are trying to help you become a better person. But you have to open your mind. You have to think for yourself and think about who you really want to be. Do you want to be some chick on YouTube who's hated because she denies anything negative and basically brushes any negative anything under the rug? Or do you want to be a real person? I know you're really big on authenticity, so I think that you should really think about what the word authentic means and what it means to actually be an authentic influencer. And I do want the best for you. So good luck.
You're the third person that I'm talking to, and literally 3 in a row, it's basically been the same message. People want to see her do well and are frustrated that she's letting her mom dictate the direction that she goes because of how her mom interacts with the public.
She's got to think for herself. That's the biggest thing here.
Thank you for joining the 3rd episode of Let's Talk Lillee Jean. If you or someone you know would like to participate in this series, please don't hesitate to reach out. Anybody is welcome, whether you are a supporter of Lillee Jean or you just have thoughts and opinions you would like to share. I would like to hear from everyone, and I welcome anyone to get in touch, and let's talk Lillee Jean.